Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to our weekly videos. Okay, so all week we have been talking about moving out of the idea stage, out of this idea phase, right? So a lot of times coaches get caught up with new ideas that they have. Sometimes it's about launching the brand altogether, and sometimes it's just new ideas within the existing business. But the ideas take over, and then there's no money being made, there's no momentum, right? There's no um, any of the things that the results that you really are desiring. And so we've been talking about that all week. Go back and we'll catch the last video because it's a great kind of first step to what we're getting ready to talk about now, right? They go together, not separately, right? So again, these videos come out every Tuesday and Thursday, noon Eastern Standard Time, okay? So here is the thing that I want you to think about now, right? How do I move out of this idea phase and have more of a plan that I'm operating from and beginning to see more results as it relates to my business? So I want you to understand two things. Number one, let's just put our number one here. I'm going to do it like this because I want us to. This is number one. Okay. And this is number two. All right. So the first thing that I want you to understand is that there are two ways to build your coaching business. Okay. Neither one of them is wrong. Let me be very clear. Neither one of them is wrong. The thing is, though, you have to understand your resources, your assets, right? The things that you have available to you, because we don't all start with the same thing. We don't start with the same amount of time. We don't start with the same amount of money. We don't start with the same amount of support. And so, how you begin will be different. And you need to embrace that because God is continuously telling you, I've already given you what you need. I want you to catch that. I want to pause there for a second because God has already given you what you need. You already have it. Okay? You already have it. Can you just I want to pause there. Like this is a intentional. Sometimes we're so focused on what we don't have. I need more money. I need more time. I need more this. I need more that. I don't have the support. But you have what it is that you need based on the level that you're at. Now, what you might not have is money for the next level, but you'll have it when it's time. That's how this works. This walk with God is a faith walk. Okay? He doesn't give you all the stuff at one time. We got to embrace that. Okay? Another conversation. So here are the two things that I want you to understand. You have two choices when it comes to building this business. Okay? And it doesn't matter what stage that you're in, whether you're just, aspiring and you're trying to get off the ground, or whether you've been doing it for 2 years and you're just not seeing the traction that you're looking for. Here's number one. Number one is about having all the things. Okay. Right. So here is what I mean. All the things, meaning I have clarity, meaning maybe I joined a coaching program, I bought a course, I did whatever. And so I'm 1000%. And let's just say I'm 90% because none of us are 100%. Okay. But let's say I'm 100%, I'm 90% clear on what it is that I do. I'm 90% clear on who I serve. I have clarity for the most part. So then the second part is then us looking at strategy. Okay. Not only am I clear about what I want to do, I'm clear about my specific strategy on how to get it done. Okay. Now, doesn't mean I'm always confident. Okay. Understanding and confidence are not the same. But I've gotten the coaching because this really has to come through coaching, right? There is every once in a while, there's somebody who can do these things on their own, but most people cannot because most people who are building coaching businesses have expertise, but it's not in business. Right. So what you're trying to do is take your expertise that you already understand, that you already know, and turn it into a profitable business. Trying to do that by yourself, if you have no experience in business, is don't do that by yourself. That doesn't even make sense. Why would you go off and try to build a 5-figure business or $1 million brand or whatever it is that you're shooting for, and you've never had a business before? Don't do that. That's just a waste of your time and energy. Okay, I digress. So you've already gone through the coaching. You've gotten some clarity. You've gotten some strategy. Um, you have a CRM. Okay, you have at least one funnel. Okay, and branding. Now, I'm a firm believer that when you first start, you don't need fancy branding. And let me not say fancy, you don't need a full branding package like these elaborate, you don't need that. You don't need no 20K package when you first started because most of your messaging, most of your offers, most of your audience, all that shit is going to change and you will have spent that money for nothing. But you do need a element of branding. If you show up with raggedy branding, you will attract raggedy clients. Okay. So this is the basics. Now, what I will say here that I consider to be optional, but most of my clients actually want it. And I get it. Okay. This is, I have the money to do all of these things, period. That's one way to build the brand is by having a having clarity, having strategy, having a CRM, having at least one funnel and a website and branding, right? So I know that my colors are consistent, fonts, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Here's what people don't understand is that that is not the only way to build your brand. It just requires that you have a certain kind of mindset. This is the thing. A lot of my clients are, I want the whole package. Seriously, I want the whole thing because I want to feel confident about what I'm doing, right? I want to show up as the expert. I want to be professional. But you don't necessarily have the resources to do all the things, okay? So we're going to call this second option as some, okay? This right here can be, I don't know. Let's just call this 10K. Okay. This is a 10K offer. It could be more than that, truth be told, depending on, are we doing group? Are we doing one-on-one? Are we doing VIP days? Are we building out what kind of funnel? Like there's all these different things, but let's just average it out and say this is what this costs. Okay. So let's just say I don't got 10K. So a lot of times what happens is we either start investing in the wrong thing, like some little bitty, kinds of things, or we start getting busy, right? Or stopping and not doing anything because we don't have the money. Okay. But here's what I want you to understand. You can do these things one at a time, like one at a time. So here's number one. Number one is I'm going to get clear. Whether that's clear about the entire brand, whether it's clear about my next step, I'm going to pay for coaching and get clear. And that's all I'm going to focus on. And then once I've done that, then I will do step two. And I will get my strategy together. Okay. Maybe you already are clear and you just need the strategy. Most people are not clear and they need both. Okay. My point here is some people stop because they don't have the money to do the whole thing. When the truth is, you can build the business without having all the things at the same time. You literally, you can build a business without having a CRM. Now, will you need all of these things at some point? Yes, you will. Absolutely. But do you need them at the point that you're at? Use what you have. Let me write this in pink. God already gave you. Use what you have. Okay? That's the whole point. Is that you don't stop because you don't have enough for the left side. You start with where you're at and you stay committed at the level that you're at. And you have realistic expectations. Like don't expect to be making 10K if you don't have some of these elements in place, right? But the truth is, you can build a business without having all the fancy shit. That's the point. That's one of the ways that you get out of this idea phase is by not focusing on what you don't have, but using what you do have. So when I'm at stage one and I'm trying to get clear, then maybe I'm doing a side job. I'm not focused on making money in my business. I'm focusing on getting clear over the next 30 days or the next 90 days. And during those 30 days or 90 days, I'm working a second job or I'm saving up all my change or I'm doing whatever creative thing. So that way, when I get to the second step, I got money for that. Okay. Now, each one of these things requires sacrifice, but it's really about mindset. So that's the one thing I want you to understand is that you can do it both ways. Here's the second thing that I think is important, and if you don't embrace this, it will keep you in the idea phase. You need accountability. And I know I spelled it wrong, but we're just going to act like I spelled it right, okay? You need accountability. And let me just be clear. Accountability does not mean I have a to-do list. Okay, that's not accountability. Accountability requires you have another person, and you really need the right person. I have a client right now who his wife sent him to me, and he was like, my wife already has a business. Okay, so I was asking her questions to help me begin to build my business, right? He hasn't launched, he's in the beginning stages. And she was like, you need to hire a coach. Let me send you to Lachelle. Because if you ask me another question, we're going to bump head. Like, you need the right, let me just put that in a different color. Because sometimes we're not even using, we're using our business bestie, we're using our husband, we're using even a mentor. And let me be clear, mentors are not bad. I know somebody gonna be like, oh my God, I love mentors. Mentors are great, but mentors play a role, and you need to understand what role that is, right? Every mentor relationship you have is a little bit different. So you might be able to get everything you need from your mentor, but many times mentoring relationships are not like that. They're not. So, but here's what I want you to understand. The reason why you need accountability is because this process of getting out of the idea phase is going to stretch you, guaranteed. Literally. My coach is getting on my nerves right now as we speak, as I record this video, because he keeps upping my dang own monthly revenue goal. Listen, and he don't just say, well, we're going to go from 10 to 15 or 15 to 20 or 20. No, he wants you to go from 20 to 40. Bruh, why am I going from 20K to 40K? Leave me alone. I was like, bro, I'm not doing that. Here's the point though. Him pushing me, and I hope he don't see this because he gonna be like, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. No. At the end of the day, you get further with accountability. That's the point. If you want to get out of the idea phase, you need the right accountability that's going to push you. Why? Because some of the things that you're going to have to do are uncomfortable. They are not easy to do. Not every single aspect of building your business is easy. And so what accountability does is acts as discipline, right? Because most of us are not disciplined when we first start. We're not doing the right things consistently. We're doing something, but we're not doing the right things. And in order for you to do the right things consistently, you build in accountability until you become disciplined, right? The goal is for, clearly I can't talk and type. The goal is for you to become disciplined and be able to do some things on your own. But most of us are not at that stage. And the truth is, what you want, when you become disciplined in one area, then you become undisciplined in the next level of growth. There needs to be accountability for the new stretching. So if you are serious about getting out of this idea phase, then you are serious about embracing the level that you're at, whether you have the money or not, whether you're going all in or whether you're just going to do one thing at a time. Okay. And you're serious about accountability. If you're not, listen, these are not negotiable. If you are serious about moving out of the idea phase and seeing some momentum in your brand, you will have both. And you will embrace, here's where I'm at. Here's what I have. I'm going to use everything I got. Drop your questions, tag your friends. Happy to